somewhat of an addendum to my. I really gotta get new glasses or fix my nose. Good for Daniels. All right, somewhat as an addendum to the Book of Boba Fett episode 6 thing I just put up. Couple points. One, you saw Grogu's. I forgot because I'm couple points because I just forgot to say them. You see, Grogu's sort of vision of what happened to him and the three Jedi trying to, protect him during Order 66. I want to point out something. The sort of hipster Jedi in the middle, there was the two hooded ones and then the one with the man bun thing. I want to know, he fell first and there was no crap that he fell first because a reverse grip with a sword, has been said by many sword people. Just watch YouTube. Some of these sword guys who are reviewing sword fights and stuff. Reverse grip, that heavily relying on reverse grip is crap. You lose a huge amount of your dexterity and your ability to basically protect the hole in a reverse grip. You can't, there's all this extra time to move the arm over, and there's a ton of dexterity you lose. And it looked like he was doing a lot of like the useless spinny stuff. So useless spinny stuff on top of a reverse grip, double trouble all of your inability to actually be flexible and maneuverable and reactive and active with the weapon. No crap, he was the first one to die. And that was like really obvious and okay, fine. I had a friend of mine bring up, and moving on from that, that's all I'm going to say about that. So moving on from that, I had a friend of mine point the idea that the idea of Luke giving Grogu the choice between Mando or Jedi was a sort of test of commitment. And I can kind of understand that, but he's, it still is if you go down the Mando road, guess what? Then we're done. You go down the Jedi road, you can't ever, you might never see this other thing again and everything. And it's really, again, to me, this is just to me, a juvenile way to explore the concept of attachment. So I can understand and appreciate the idea that it's a test of commitment, and that brings a layer on it I had not thought of, but it still feels like, this is, they don't understand the philosophical concepts they're trying to portray with that. I will have to say, and as the conversation between Luke and Ahsoka, I think I just mentioned that, I really liked that it happened, and I really like it was kind of peaceful. What I didn't say, because I didn't really think about it in these terms, it was something I liked, but I didn't put it into sort of words until later, was the fact that he was kind of, had a certain deference to her. She was, sort of pleased and comfortable, and he seemed like he was sort of, it had a different, I don't know if looking up to her is quite the same, is quite where I want to go with it. But there was a certain deference. There was a certain advice almost that he was seeking from Ahsoka. And I thought that was nice. I think that's a reasonable thing for Luke to have done. And a reasonable and nice and sort of pleasant way for them to have a sort of relationship. I mean, there's, I think Ahsoka is really pleased with Luke, as kind of maybe almost sees Luke as what Anakin maybe could have been. But she's been so long on her own and doing her own thing and growing and learning and evolving and enlightening herself on her own, that it wouldn't even be the same relationship even if it was straight up Anakin. To which I'd also have to say Luke is a better person than Anakin, because Anakin more than once at the very least in the Clone Wars show, proved himself to be, probably a personality disorder, and really kind of manipulative, and kind of a shit in a lot of ways. So I think she was kind of comfortable. Was like, this is almost like, it's like having almost an Anakin that was the ideal of kind of Anakin back, but who had been through some stuff and was able to not be this sort of loose cannon danger that he really was to other people. And I think Luke looks at Ahsoka as, like a link, not only a link to the Jedi of the past, but a link to his dad, when his dad was a hero instead of like the most badass, awesome villain ever. But I also think that they both understand and appreciate each other as individuals beyond and besides the scope of those perspectives, and beyond even just Anakin. And it really seemed like he, even if, again, it was a short conversation and I might be reading a whole lot into it, and it might be just sort of fan casting in my head, considering how much I love Luke and I love Ahsoka, that he kind of was seeking a little bit of advice from her, and I really liked that. So that's all I'm going to say. There was a couple of things I just forgot to add to the other video, and I wanted to put that out there for both of you who are probably doing something else while you're listening to this. So thanks. Cheers.